Elvis may have been the king of rock and roll, but Scotty made sure the trains ran on time. Alright guys, so today we're going to do the classic That's Alright Mama by Elvis. It's the first record that he ever had a hit for at Sun Studio in Memphis way back in 1955, I think it was. And the guitar player that played on that record was Scotty Moore, who is one of the legendary, very underrated guitarists of the time. He took a lot of that country and western swing and some of those Chet Atkins tunes and then turned it into this new thing called rock and roll. So we're going to take a look at 3 different parts of That's Alright Mama. We're going to look at the Elvis part, which is just a straight up rhythm in A, 1-4-5 blues. It'll be a great place to go for beginners. And then we're going to take a look at Scotty's rhythm part, which had this really great call and response thing going on with a few little inversions. And Scotty also used a thumb pick, so there's some finger picking, hybrid picking things you're going to learn in there that are really cool. And then we'll take a look at that classic solo, and we'll learn how to play that, and we'll try to break it down a little bit so maybe you understand how he got there. And it's going to be fun, so let's get to it. Alright y'all, let's talk about this a little bit and break it down. So let's talk about the Elvis part first. So the song is in A, and it's just a simple 1-4-5. And so all Elvis is doing is your standard open chords. A, D, and E major too, I believe. Yeah, so he's doing them all major chords. Now there's a little bit of this alternating bass thing that you'll hear in a lot of country and a lot of that early rock and roll that he's kind of hitting on there as well. So it's kind of like... beginner song. You can just play those open chords all day and you'll have it made. Alright, now let's move on to the Scotty Moore part. Now, Scotty used a thumb pick, so if you're good with a thumb pick, great. You're a better man or woman than I am. So I'm terrible with them, so I do a hybrid picking thing, which is basically I take my pick and I use these 2 fingers a lot. I've done it for years. It just works for me. Some people use the thumb pick. Some people do the Brian Setzer thing where they take their pick and they kind of hide it in their palm and then they use their thumb and stuff like that. I like using a pick because you get a better attack like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at Scotty's part. So the best I can tell, and here's the other deal, rock and roll is very loosey-goosey. I'm going to show you how I play it and kind of the general vibe and the way it works, and most of the things are accurate, but there's going to be some things like if Scotty Moore is picking the G string on the 3rd beat of the 12th bar, I'm not going to get that. I'm teaching you just how to play the song. And honestly, Scotty probably didn't play it the same way twice that night when they recorded it at Sun in '55. So basically, you're going from an A, he's playing an A, and we're doing this here at the 5th position, which is 5th fret on the high E, 5th fret on the B, 6th fret on the G, and then we're on the 7th fret on the D string. So you get this sound, right? This A major. Now, there's this call and response where he's like, "That's all right, mama." And so what what Scotty is doing is he's doing this little inversion of an A chord, which is at the 9th fret. So if we start on the G string, 9th fret, B string, 10th fret, and then 9th fret again for the high E. Think of it similar to how a D chord, like you would a D chord, but you slide it up to the 9th fret, okay? And then he's using his pinky to catch this E on the 12th fret. So you get this. And he's strumming it with his thumb pick. So it's like, so he's going. And he's sliding it, hitting the whole thing, double stopping it. And so I'm going to do another video on triads. This inversion here, this basically open D chord shape, shows up all over rockabilly, so you're really going to want to get this down. But he kind of hits this high E with his pinky to get that kind of dun dun. I'm not changing anything. I'm still doing that D shape, but I'm using this index finger to bar. You could do it if you bar it. So bar at the 9th fret with your first finger. Second finger goes on the 10th fret to get you that D-ish. I want to call it a D shape, but it's an inverted A triad. If you use the bar and do that, it allows you a little more extension with that pinky. And then, so we're sliding up into that to get that really nice double stop sound. Now here's the really neat thing about this. So now he's playing this D, but it's basically just a bar. You're barring all the strings at the 5th fret except for the low E. Okay, this is where his hybrid picking. So look here, I'm barring this all the way, right? But then it's see how I'm using my fingers? I'm using my pick on the D, which is 5th fret A string. That's all there is to it. This is a good thing to kind of just start working on. Get your fingers. And then we drop down to the E. It's just a run-of-the-mill D chord. But he's doing a couple of different things. This first finger is coming off and hammering on, so you get a minor to a major sound. And then he's also using his pinky on the B string 3rd fret to kind of get you a, what would that get you? That gets you kind of a flat 7 sound, that's what it is. So he kind of goes. And then you're back to the A thing and you cycle through. So let's run through the whole thing right quick. Said there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of hybrid picking and some things to do. So just break it down slowly. You're doing an A major chord here at the 5th fret. You're also doing this inversion kind of at the 9th fret that kind of looks like an open D chord. And then you're hammering on. For the D chord, you're just barring everything all the way across, and then you're working on your finger picking. And then for the E, your finger picking, you're getting used to taking that index finger on and off for flavor. And then the same with the pinky on that B string 3rd fret, you're kind of just adding it for flavor. You're just going to have to keep playing it and messing with it till you get it to sound right. so that gets you that great Scotty Moore rhythm. You just kind of have to play with it, play in the pocket, till you kind of get the hang of it. All right, now it's time for the part that we've all been waiting for. One of my favorite solos of all time. It's kind of what got me into this thing of rockabilly when I first started playing back in the day in Memphis and really getting into that stuff. So here's how it works. So it's in A, right? Now it's basically doing a lot of A major pentatonic stuff. So I'm gonna play through it once and then we'll break down the parts. So here's the good news. If you've been working on the rhythm stuff we talked about earlier, you already know the D and the E part of this solo. So we just need to focus on the A part. So here's how it goes. Right out of the gate, you're doing this walk up. So it's open E. On the E string is where it walks up. Then your 2nd fret, 4th fret. Now, I hit the open A. I've seen some people that are like, where you fret it here, but I like it because it kind of rings and it gives you time to get your hand over there. So on the E string, open 2, 4, open A. Okay. Now we're going to do my favorite part, the double stops that I just think sounds super cool. So you're using your pick, it's hybrid picking, remember. So you're using your pick for that lead up on E. Now, like I said, this is an A major pentatonic kind of run. We're going to be on the G and the B strings. So we're going to be on the 6th fret, G string, 5th fret, B string. So you pluck those. And so what you're doing is you're plucking those, then you're dropping down both strings, you're barring on the 4th fret, then you're barring them on the 2nd fret, and then I like to come here and because you're going to slide back up into that position again because you're going to repeat this a few times, right? So, and I like to do it this way. I like to, on the G string, I like to start on the 4th fret, and on the B string, I like to start on the 3rd fret, and then I'm going to slide all the way up to the 6th and 5th fret like this. So you get that down. So you do that 3 times. All right, and so we're going to do, so we get this part. So that descending part, so we start on the 7th fret B, then you 5th fret, back to the 7, bend it up, and then you're going to go back to the 5th, and then you're going up to the G string. You're going to do the 6th fret, 4th fret, and then you're coming down on the D string, 7, 6, 5, and then you're into that D for that rhythm part. All right, let's go through that slow one more time. enjoy, guys. It's just one of the best solos of all time. And there you have it, folks. Those are the reasons Scotty Moore is still one of my favorite guitar players of all time. He kind of took that old Chet Atkins thing, brought it in with the rock and roll and the western swing, and just did the best he could with what he had. So go back and check out some more of Elvis's stuff, and you'll see where Scotty is just all over it and did such great things and is really an underrated guitar player out there. So take a look, let me know what you think. What are some other Elvis songs you would want to hear, or early rockabilly songs, or some techniques and some things like this triad inversions that we're going to be looking at later on. So comment below on some of your other favorite Elvis songs, some of those early rockabilly records, and I'll talk to you guys next time.